Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And today, we're going to be talking about sugar daddies. We're going to be talking about sugar daddies and why it's a problem with some women having sugar daddies. And before I get started, I'd like to say that, look, I'm not the moral police. No, I just think some things need to be called out. Some things we have to be aware of in society, even though some people don't like talking about it. Then you have some people like certain people talking about it. It's a double standard. So now there's a lot of websites out here now with, women are looking for sugar daddies. Women are looking for guys online that's available for financial assistance. So I remember when I was growing up, at least the age that I found out about what the term sugar daddy actually meant, I was about 17 or 18 at the time. And I remember like being if a woman found out that her friend or a family member had a sugar daddy, that was kind of looked down upon. That wasn't something that was for bragging rights or anything like that. That was really looked down upon. Because I remember my stepsister, she's not going to be listening to this video, so I can talk about it. My stepsister, she had a sugar daddy. This was like over 30 years ago. And she actually brought the guy to our house because they came from New York at the time. She was living in New York. And he was an older guy. I mean, at the time, she was about 35. And this guy, at the time, was about, he's about 60. So once we found out what type of relationship they had, my parents kind of like, they didn't really have too much to say about that. Nothing positive to say. So they didn't really say anything because that's how they were. If they didn't have nothing positive to say, they just let it go. They just shook their head. And that was the end of that. And then that's how I grew up. I grew up in a time where having a sugar daddy, that wasn't anything to brag about. Now, 2018 is kind of glorified. It's kind of looked at something like, hey, you go, girl. It's kind of weird how time passes and the mentality of the majority of people in society, it changes. And the reason why that happens is because of the environment. The environment influences people to do things based on laws, public policy, propaganda, etc., and on and on and on. I can go on and on. So now what's crazy to me is you got some women that I've met that say they want sugar daddies, right? So I'm like, you? I mean, some of these women aren't even attractive. They're overweight. I'm like, you? And then plus, another thing that's important, A sugar daddy, that term used to be an older guy. Notice I said my stepsister was 35, and this guy was about 60. Today, fast forward today to this day, when younger guys, young men are sugar daddies. Now it wasn't like that. Like when I was growing up, you didn't see. I've never seen a young guy that was the sugar daddy. I just never seen that before until like I'd say about 10 years ago. That's when I started hearing women say, "Hey, he's my sugar daddy." I'm like, "What? He's a young dude," you know. And then you got these women that can't take care of themselves, so they're basically looking for somebody to pick up the tab. They can't do it, so they're looking for some financial assistance. So they're looking for somebody to pay a bill here. That's the best most of them can do. Can really. I mean, these women, we're not talking about top tier women here. That's not the majority of these women. We're talking about women that's not even a 7 on the Richter. They're not even a 7 on the Richter scale. These women are like 6, 5, 4, 2. So you know, I mean, there's a small percentage of women that are 7, 8s, 9s, and dimes. But I just don't. I don't know where. I don't know where this society socially is really going when it comes to a lot of this. Now, see, in this society, women are really being conditioned to be passive, aggressive prostitutes, really. And guys are being socialized to be simps, tricks, wimps, and everything else in between. Really sad but true. But that's how this environment shapes people, molds people, and it happens in a very subtle, hypnotic, kind of mellow type way. You don't even realize it sometimes. Yes, a lot of people don't even realize what they're doing until after the fact, until a couple hours later, the next day, and then they'd be like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was a bad idea." So this is what happens in society. This is what happens with a lot of people. So it's like a lot of times I don't blame the people for what they do, you know, because I know some people, unfortunately, they just don't know any better. They're only doing what they're being taught to do or what they're being conditioned to do. And this is going to be based on their position in society, their priorities, their bills, what they got themselves into as far as debt and kids and responsibilities. And so a lot of things come into play. This is why a lot of men and women will do some strange things for a piece of change, you know? So, you got, there's just a lot of things that happen out here that make me say, hey, what are we doing out here? But what I would say is that I don't think anything's wrong with women wanting to be with a guy with resources. Maybe she think he's cute. She likes him. He's an ambitious guy. Uh, he's gone somewhere, and she wants to bring her along so they can build something together. I don't think anything wrong with that. However, I do think there's something wrong with when women get with a guy just for benefits, resources, etc. And she's not even she's not attracted to the guy at all. She don't even care how he looks, don't care how he dressed, don't even care how he smells. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. She's not even attracted to the guy, but as long as he's making tons of money, he got resources, she'll take him anyway. There's something wrong with that. It's basically she just sold her soul, basically, in a situation like that. Because she's going to eventually, maybe not in the beginning, but eventually she's going to hate being around him because it's going to become so stressful at times where it's going to feel miserable being around this guy that she's not attracted to. She don't like anything about him. Only thing she likes is that maybe he has a nice house, maybe he pays for everything, she has a car, maybe he's introduced her to people that maybe she can do business with, or maybe whatever he's done. That's probably the only thing that she likes. But it's and this is why a lot of these women will slide out every once in a while. They'll have a side dude. They'll come out every couple of months. They'll slide out because they're so stressed, so much stress that they have. It builds up so much, and this is where the side dude comes in there. He, kind of like pop the balloon, so to speak, let some air out. You know, so these relationships happens a lot in America, especially if you live in like the major cities across America. You know, but I also would like to say that most guys are not going to be able to get with a girl without some type of resources, you know, or money or a combination of either or. Most guys are not going to be able to pull it off today unless you got game. Unless you got game. If you got game, you can damn near talk probably 90% of these women, into doing damn near anything. The biggest hurdle that you have, if you got game, the biggest hurdle that you're going to have is getting their attention so they can listen to you. If you can get them to listen to you long enough, you can get them. You can bag them. 90% if you got game. Now, most guys aren't going to be able to pull that off. So, the next logical, practical thing to do is you got to build yourself up. You got to earn more money. You got to find your passions, your purpose in life, whatever that is. Find stuff. Find the whole idea is like the whole concept is like this. This is my concept. And I didn't make this up either. This is something I follow this. I've been taught this by other people before me, basically. The whole game is this. Find one of your hobbies. If you don't have one, you're gonna have to figure out. Find one of your hobbies and find a way to get paid off of it. Find people that's willing to take their hard-earned money and find a way to make a living doing that shit. That's the whole concept of it. And you have to like doing it. You can't hate doing it. It can't be like a job. It has to be like a lifestyle. Yeah, it has to be like a lifestyle. Because if it's just like your job, you're going to quit your job because most people hate their jobs. So it can't be like, oh, I can't wait till Friday to get here so I can go to the club, take the day off. No, it can't be like that. This has to be like your lifestyle. Has to be like your livelihood. This it can't be like it has to be, hey, you're gonna do it regardless of how much money you make. And that doesn't mean you're gonna become a millionaire doing it. No, no, it doesn't work like that. You can't no one can promise how much money you're gonna make. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that way. But the whole concept is if you find out whatever your purpose is, find a way to get paid off of it, and try to help as many people as possible with a message on as many platforms as possible. Whether you're speaking in person, whether you're online, whether you're marketing and promoting on any platform. I don't give a damn where it's at. I don't care if you're being interviewed, whatever. I don't care if you're a fitness trainer, a doctor, whatever it is. And then what's going to happen over a certain amount of time, you're going to meet people along the way. You're going to meet women along the way. And women are going to find you. No doubt about it. Because you know why I know women are going to find you? Because women are very capitalistic, in this society. And whenever you hear women say, hey, I would never do a thing like that. Yeah, right. Take that with a grain of salt, buddy. Women are very, if the opportunity is right, they're opportunists. If the opportunity is right, and if the timing is right, they're going to take it. They're going to find a way to get in your circle, in your environment. And they're going to find a way to get your attention, especially if other women are around, because women are very catty and they're very aggressive and competitive amongst each other. So if a woman finds out that other women are trying to get at you, she's going to try to get at you even more. Women can be very aggressive. They see what they want, they go after it 110%. For the most part. Now, there's some women, of course, aren't like this. Some women are very passive aggressive. But even still, then they still going to find a way to get in your circle, in your face, if they really want to be around you bad enough. Now, they might go about it in their way, indirectly, but they're still going to try. So you're going to have more women than you know what to do with. You're going to have to filter out until you get to the best, I don't know, best 3 to 5 of them, whatever. It don't got to be just one woman. 3 to 5 of them, So that's the whole that was the whole concept of my first book that I wrote. A Chicken's Guide to Having Women Bake for You, Sex, Lust, and Lies. That can be found on Amazon.com. The whole concept of my first book is stop chasing women. Have women chase you. You basically change the game. You become the hunted and not the hunter. So the concept is you want to build yourself up so much financially, spiritually, and probably every facet way humanly possible until the average woman cannot resist you. They won't be able to resist you. That's how I pretty much cracked the code on all this dating shit and relationship shit. I looked at it from the entertainer and the athlete's point of view. I can't be an athlete, I can't be an entertainer. But if I stand back and look at these guys and girls, all of them have one thing in common. attention. They get people's attention. And they know how to keep people's attention. And they know how to have people chase them. People want to be with them. And you know why people want to be with them? Because they're not like them. The entertainers and the athletes aren't like us. They're not like the rest of us. The entertainers or the football players are not like the people in the stands clapping their hands. The people in the stands are fucking cheerleaders. That's all they are. Just cheerleaders. They pay their money to be entertained. They go home, live their mediocre lives, and that's it. I never wanted to live a mediocre and average life. Never have, never will. So I made a decision a long time ago. Whatever I decide to do, I have to go counterclockwise to what everyone else is doing around me and what everyone else is doing in society. So let's see, a lot of times we think, you know, if everyone else is going right, I guess I should go right too. No, you shouldn't. You should go left. If everyone is going to Cancun in next month, because that's a hot month, so maybe I should go too. No, you shouldn't. You should wait until the month after or 2 months later. You know, you always want to, you don't want to follow the status quo. You want to go against the status quo. Because, see, when you go against the status quo, some people are going to dislike you. Who cares? But most women, if you take a stand, are going to be looking at you like you're a little weird. They don't really know you, don't really know where you're going. But I tell you what, they want to be a part of it. That's what it is. You know. So it's hard going against the grain. It's hard going against status quo. I get it. You know, I get it. You know, but some of us, we didn't have a choice. I know I didn't have a choice because what I was doing in the beginning wasn't working. You know, it wasn't working when I was in my early 20s. So I had to find something that worked for me. And what that was, I discovered that almost every time I go against the grain, ride the wave like everyone else do, almost 90% of the time I get burned. Bam! 90% of the time. You know? So, you know, that's been my life. Then you got some people, like they came out of their mother's womb and they had to go against the grain. You know, some people were set up to fail. From day one. Some people were set up to fail because they didn't ever had a support system when they were a baby. They didn't have a support system that they had. But maybe the mom was fucked up, dad was fucked up, you know. So that person in a position like that, even growing up, even they might not be conscious of what's going on around them to a certain extent. But when they get to a certain age, they have to go against the grain because the support structure is just not there. You know? So I had to do the same thing. I just had to do it at I was 19 when I just said, hey, I'm going to do shit my way now. I've done shit my parents' way, and that shit just didn't work out. You know? And this is why a lot of these women find themselves in a position they're in wanting a sugar daddy. Because they listen to everybody else but themselves. You know, most people don't trust themselves, you know. And so now a lot of them say, hey, you know what? I just want somebody else to do it. So the sugar daddy paid a little bill, phone bill, light bill, something like that. Now, most of these women are not going to get guy that they want in any capacity, in any environment. It doesn't matter. So they're basically trying to do the same thing, but but they're trying to have a certain type of relationship, which is sugar daddy. They're just trying to be straight up with it. So I see a lot of women online say stuff like, they kind of make demands too. Say shit like, hey, if you're I'm looking for generous guys. Or they'll say something like, hey, if you're not paying, don't send me no messages. So I'm like, what? You know, so see, whenever you have to make demands, you're already lost as a woman. And even as a man or woman. If you have to make demands, you're already lost. If you have to negotiate, you're already lost. You know, you're already lost. You know, even if you feel like you have to pay, that's a loser's game because you have to keep paying. And let's just be honest, most guys can't afford to be sugar daddies. Most guys can't do it. You know, I mean, you have in certain cases, you might have a millionaire or a guy that's well off that's willing to be a sugar daddy. But if that's the case, that millionaire is gonna have that woman sign some shit. He's not gonna be like just start giving her money and paying bills without her signing some shit. Because you know why? Because he worked hard for his fucking money. And he ain't gonna he don't know, he might be thinking you trying to run some game. You know? He might be thinking you trying to, I don't know, embezzle him or run some type of scheme on him. So he's gonna have that woman sign some papers in most cases if he's a millionaire. And most of these women are not going to be able to get the millionaire anyway, because it's hard for a lot of women to even get in the presence of these guys. You got to know people to get close to these guys. Because I know some of these guys, and it's even hard for me to get close to a lot of them. I don't see them often, so I know, and I know some of these guys. I don't see them often, so I can imagine how hard it is for a random woman. No, you can't get. And even the guys that are rich, a lot of them you can't even tell. They're not flashing. Most of them are not flashy. And the ones that are flashy, there's a method to the madness. They're doing that shit. That's more of a promotional stunt. Well, that's more for promotional purposes. But in their regular everyday life, once the cameras is off, and they just live. They live the life they want to live. It's nothing fancy or, yeah, they might have a big house. They might have a boat. They might have a plane. But they're gonna have a bunch of real estate. Like apartments, like like the amusement parks. They might have residential property, but you're never gonna know it until you get to know them better. But if we turn on the TV and we see when we turn on the TV, we looking at basically celebrities, entertainers. They're doing all that flashing shit, you know. But that's what it is. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman wanting to be with a guy with resources, as long as she liked the guy. She's attracted to the guy. That's cool. She's willing to come with the guy and build something. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but at the same time, you have to understand, a lot of women are used to dating up. So if a woman makes, just say a woman makes $50,000, she's gonna want a guy to make more than her, sometimes double, right? And then, like, again, women are being conditioned to think like this. The women don't think anything's wrong with now. So some guys will say, "Hey, if she make 50,000, why she gotta have a guy to make double? Or maybe she ain't working at all. Maybe she ain't working at all. Maybe she don't got no money coming. Maybe she's on Social Security, Or unemployment. Maybe she get unemployment checks. That's a better example. Maybe she got unemployment checks, right? And some guys will say, hey, she don't deserve to have a guy that's making good money. She ain't, you can't expect to get what you don't have, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? But women don't look at it like that. They don't look at it like that. You know, they feel like they got the punani, so that's the punani is supposed to take up for the lack of employment. However, I do believe that if a woman gets with a guy just because of his resources and income, she ain't attracted to him at all. She don't even like how he smell, don't even like how he look. Something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. And that's just, it goes way over. It's more to it than just she's being desperate. There's something wrong with that. Something wrong with her. Something wrong with women that's like that. There's a lot of women out there that's like that. How do you live with somebody that you're not even attracted to physically? But there is some women out here that, you know, as long as the guy make good money, they don't care how he look. There's a small percentage of women out here like that too. That's maybe 15, 20%. As long as he make good money, maybe he's rich, they don't care how he look. They don't care how he dress. They don't care how he smell. They don't care. There's women out there like that. However, but then there's a large percentage of women out here that are opportunists. They'll say, I would never date a black guy. I would never date a white guy. I would never date a guy that was working at the post office or whatever. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. You know, none of these women out here are not loyal to any particular group of guys at all. None of them. You know. You know. There's a lot of women out here that think that their friends are loyal to the, you know, maybe the fraternity or loyal to their family or their parents or loyal to their culture. Please. Man, let me tell you something. When them women come over here from these other countries, and if the situation is right, they meet a guy that they think that's about to take care of them and take them somewhere, man, they'll dump all that culture shit out of the window and get with that guy. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen many times. Women come over here, start acting like Donald Trump or somebody like that, and a lot of these guys think that the woman, just because they're from the same country, right? Maybe they're from Japan. You have a bunch of, let's say you have girls and guys from Japan. They come over here in the same club. Everybody come over together. They work the same job or whatever. So after a couple months go by, you only take a couple months here in America. Out of 10 Japanese girls, right? At least one to two of these women are going to date out. They're going to date somebody else besides a Japanese guy. No doubt about it. But see, these guys, they always think that, hey, you know, we came together, we stay together, we congregate together, we're gonna stick together regardless. This shit. A lot of these women coming over here, they're struggling. Because when they move to these big cities, the struggle is real out here. It's so expensive to live in these big towns. A lot of these women be like, shit, man, let me tell you something. If they meet a guy and she thinks that the guy make more money than her, shit, hell with them people at work. She going on the other side. And I've seen that shit happen many times. There's some women that, of course, some women that, you know, they're gonna stay in their little place in their little position and play and think with that mindset like the rest of the group. Because, these other groups, Japanese, Chinese, whatever, it's all about the group for them. But all these women don't buy into all that shit. They do. They were raised that way. But if the situation presents itself, shit, and it's a good offer in her mind, that bitch is gonna be gone. Shit. Now why you think a lot of these women looking for sugar daddies? This shit is expensive out here. A lot of these women are struggling. See, a lot of these women made the mistake to believe that they could be independent and they could make it on their own without a man. And when they get in, put their foot into the fire, and they realize that, man, this shit is expensive out here. And a lot of them feel like they're vulnerable. It is what it is. What up, Apple Mac? This girl won't come to my house because her mom said I live in a bad neighborhood. She want me to get a hotel, but I'm not with that. What do you think? Well, where do you live at, Fresh Boy? Fresh Boy Key. Where do you live at? Do you live in a bad neighborhood or what? What up, L2 James? Yeah, the sugar daddy shit is kind of weak. I agree, Apple. Like, do the tricks from hookers, and that's goes way smarter than but do a trick. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really see the hooker and the escort too much different, Apple Mac. Really. I mean, it can sometimes be the same for some guys. Kind of, but that. So you do live in a bad neighborhood. Kind of, but well, where do you live at though? Where do you live? What city is it? Or what town? Well, it can't be a town. It's not really a such thing as a bad neighborhood in a town. But what city? Tell them, man, tell her that's a chance she got to take if she want to get on your team. There's one cheaper than the other. Yeah, I agree, Apple Mac. The price is cheaper. South Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. Oh, you from Rocky Mount? I've been up there. I've been in your town. Shit. There ain't no bad neighborhood over there. I've been to Rocky Mount probably 3 times. Yeah, I used to have a girl that live up there. You might know her. How you bullshitting? Yeah, I used to know a girl that live up there. You might know her, but I'm not gonna say her name over the air though. Yeah, she used to live in Charlotte, and she ended up moving back. So, but she ended up moving back home, and we just stopped talking. Nothing happened. We just stopped talking. But I think she ended up getting married to a guy up there. She was a good girl though. She got pregnant, ended up getting married. So that's it. I just left her alone. We just stopped talking. I wish her well, That was it. They got them country girls up there, boy. Them girls up there, thick country girls up there. Thick country girls up there. Okay, hell no. See why, poor girl. You let the one get. You let that. I ain't let her get away. I didn't. She was looking to get married and settle down at the time. I'm in my man at that time, man. I was like 20, 26, and I'm still like, yeah, I was a young cat too back then. I'm like traveling all over the place. I'm not getting. There's no way in hell I'm getting married. I'll be divorced in 90 days. Shit, there's no way. Yeah, but you know what, man? I think she would have been a good. She would have been a good mother for a child. Yeah, I could see it. She was a good. She'd make a good parent. And even after the then I saw her one more time after she had her baby, and I saw how she interacted with the baby and everything. Oh yeah, she's a good mom. Very attentive. She was like, and her sister. I saw her sister. Her sister looked better than her, right? Which was crazy. I said, man, maybe I should have got with the sister instead of her. But anyways, that's how it goes sometimes. But I saw her sister. Her sister still live in Charlotte, and I asked her sister how she doing, and she said, "Oh, she's doing great or whatever." She ended up having another kid, so now she got two kids, and the kids they're big now. They're like shit. They're like teenagers now. So you know, hey, man, I wish her well. Yeah, that is. I was too young. I was 26, man. I was ripping and running. I wasn't ready for no damn marriage. There's no way in hell. I knew better than that. You know. Yeah, I knew better than that, man. You know, I knew better than that, man. Shit. I'm just trying to hit. I'm debating on getting a hotel and hitting me quite, but I mean, look, don't make things complicated, man. If you can't get up with her, man, look, man, just move on. Keep it moving. That's how I see it, man. Don't put too much energy and too much time into trying to smash. Don't do that shit. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But don't be dwelling on, hey, should I get a hotel? She won't come over. Man, the hell with all that shit. You know? I mean, it's like, I just don't think it's worth the time. It shouldn't be difficult. I mean, it just shouldn't be. Certain things shouldn't be difficult. Having sex is nothing complicated about it at all. It really ain't. Especially today. My goodness. So just move on. There's too many women out here, man. Give me a break. Give me a break. I need to get one of those afterwards. Hey, yo, Fresh Boy, you read any of my stuff? Any of my books? Apparently not. Because if you did, you wouldn't be asking me questions like this. Yeah. These Air Maxes, man, y'all need to go get one of those women out the woods. God, she crazy. Yeah, but like you don't really. What the hell? What's this? Oh, yeah, but most of the women, most guys, are gonna have to have some type of resources. And oh yeah, when it comes to resources, resources don't have to be anything a woman can touch, a woman can see. A resource could be what's in your mind. A resource could be a certain skill set. A resource could be information, something that she don't know, but she know you know it. So keep that in mind. It's not like a resource don't have to be anything they can touch. It could be like I use myself for example. Now when it comes to like I've been online for a long time. I've been online for 12 years, right? Now, when I meet people out in public, I don't really tell them anything about me until I get to know them. If if I think there's someone that's worthy to even get to know, for me to even talk to them about anything, right? And a lot of these people, especially where I live, they speak in front of kids or speak in front of adults or they, maybe they do something. Most of these people are like actors or something. They're trying to do something in most cases, most people you meet here. But a very handful of them have actually done it. They got started. Maybe they got a little bit of results. Maybe they got some type of clout in the area where they live at, but they just need a little boost. They need a little push because a lot of people don't know how to promote themselves. That's most people's biggest problem. They don't know how to get clients and they don't know how to promote themselves. The two biggest problems most people have that I meet. So I can help them do it. I know how to do this shit. It's just because I've been doing it for a long time. So that's a skill set that I have, right? That most people don't have. So so let me tell you what usually happens. If a woman finds out, well, it could be a man, but especially a woman. Most guys that if you're not gonna help them, they'll just fucking move on. You know, that's that's how they feel. Even they might ask you directly or they might not. But if they feel like, hey, I don't even like this dude anyway, so fuck it, I'm gonna move on. I don't care. However, if a woman finds out, like let's say a woman, she's a counselor, a therapist, right? I know these women. I know professional women, and I know women that want to be public speakers, women that want to start their own practice. Now, maybe they haven't started it yet, but they're getting their certifications. Some of them have spoke before in smaller crowds, but they just maybe they have some couple roadblocks. Maybe they just don't have the support, whatever. But once they find out that I can help them, a lot of times, a lot of these women, I can't get rid of these motherfuckers. they start, man, like they calling me all the time. They want to hang out with me. They want to hang around me, and they're willing to do almost anything that for me to help them. I'm talking like, look, I've had women that said, "Hey, I'm at your mercy. I'll do anything you want. You name it, I got you. Just call me when you're out and about. Maybe we can sit down and talk. Women will do almost anything. When I say anything, I'm talking anything. So this is what I mean when I say a lot of women are opportunists. You know. Now, some of these women, I'm gonna say majority of these women, I know there's something that they like about me, obviously, because I didn't, like I say, I don't tell people what I do. I don't tell people my skill sets when I first meet them. Now, and I don't do that until later. And when I do that shit, and if they figure out that, hey, what I'm doing can help them, man, a lot of women, they'll do anything, which is crazy to even think like this, but a lot of women, they get, they're very emotional, man. And they be like, hey, man, can't let this guy go. And this goes back to having the sugar daddy. A lot of these women have made mistakes, too many mistakes. It's not wrong making mistakes, but a lot of women have made too many mistakes, and they haven't figured out how to take care of themselves, because it's like, well, if you make too many mistakes, it's going to become like a domino effect. It's like there's so much stuff happening all at one time, and if you don't have a foundation, you're going to fucking crumble. That's why they say pressure busts pipes. And that's what happens to a lot of women, man, out here. And they'll run into, most of the guys they're going to run into are parasites. I'm not a parasite. So I'm not going to prey on these women just because I have something or a certain skill set that can help them. I'm not going to prey on them. If I can help them, I'm going to help them, with a price, of course. But you got some of these guys, they're like parasites. They'll prey on them. They'll basically get what they can get out of them sexually or money or whatever, and don't deliver on anything. And that's a fucking parasite, because they're just taking advantage of the situation because they know this woman is vulnerable. So, but I'm not like that. I don't got a heart like Hitler. But there's a lot of people out there that's like that. They prey on the weak. And as a matter of fact, that's what this whole society is built upon. They prey on the weak and the disenfranchised and uneducated. Sad but true, Let's try to hit the Okay. So that's about all I got for this video. So hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Go get this. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. This is the only book you're ever going to ever need in your life. All right, fresh boy. I'm out. Peace.